So I'm making some pesto sauce tonight because it's been forever, and that's ridiculous because my tower garden is exploding with basil. So why not make pesto, right? I love pesto sauce. It's so yummy. There's so many ways you can use it. I usually do all raw cashews, but I actually got some pine nuts. So I'm gonna use half and half. I'm gonna do 1/8 of a cup of pine nuts, and I'm gonna toast them just in a pan for a few minutes. And then 1/8 of a cup of raw cashews. And I love the way raw cashews makes pesto so creamy. So that we're sticking with some raw cashews in here. You're also gonna need 2 teaspoons of freshly squeezed lemon juice, some salt, some pepper, and half a cup of good olive oil. I have extra virgin organic cold pressed olive oil. Good stuff. You could eat this raw and it's like amazing. And you're gonna need 1/3 of a cup of freshly grated Parmesan cheese. You also need 2 cloves of garlic. I'm gonna grate this while those toast, but I'm gonna keep an eye on them. You don't want to burn the pine nuts. Yuck. And I'm just gonna mix all of this in a food processor. All right, so let's get those pine nuts in the food processor, as well as cashews, 2 garlic cloves, lemon in. I'm just gonna do a tiny bit of salt and a tiny bit of pepper, maybe 1/8 of a teaspoon of each. And now I need 3 cups of loosely packed fresh basil. You can do half and half with spinach too. It's yummy. All of that is basil. Yum. I think this is enough. These are huge. These leaves are like ginormous. The first few I picked, they're at the bottom. Well, this is small compared to the other ones. But if you've never grown herbs, basil is a great one to attempt because it's pretty forgiving. You don't need a tower garden to grow basil. I've done it in a little pot outside or in a raised bed or even on your windowsill. So this is a small food processor. So I'm going to gradually add the basil in. And I don't really measure my olive oil. I kind of just eyeball the consistency of the pesto to get it to where I want it to be. And the olive oil is all that's missing. So, oh, and the cheese, but we'll stir that in. We'll stir that in at the end. So I'm gonna pour some in here just to get things moving. It's probably right, about a half a cup like the recipe says. I just like it to be saucy. Grind up the Parmesan cheese. So we'll just stir it in gently. It's pretty impressive how perfumey basil tastes and smells. So I'm putting this cheese in. I transferred my pesto to a measuring cup. I love measuring cups, almost better than bowls. And I put slightly more than 1/3 of a cup because I didn't want to waste it. And so I'm just gonna stir this together and the pesto is ready. Now, pesto is amazing because you can use it for a trillion things. Tonight, we're making lobster ravioli with this drizzled on top. You could also make any pasta and toss it in pesto. You can spread this on a crostini with a slice of tomato. Or you can put it on pizza. You can make a grilled cheese with this and mozzarella, with or without tomato in addition to that, because yummy. You can add some white vinegar to this and toss cherry tomatoes and make a beautiful tomato salad. And the list goes on, you guys. Pesto is awesome. So I hope you enjoyed. I would love to hear what you think of this recipe and how you use it. That's the consistency I like right there.